If you're thinking about spending $3,000 on the Sony FX3, stop. I'm gonna tell you 5 secrets about the Sony ZV-E1 that'll make you think twice before you buy your next camera. And if you're new to the channel, guys, I go by Deli. I'm a 19-year-old videographer, editor, full-time student creating high-quality edits just like this. All right, let's not waste any more time and dive right into this episode. I'm gonna cover these 5 categories: camera specs, including sensor size, resolution, lens compatibility, video capabilities, connectivity, battery life, and cost. I'm gonna give you guys a side-by-side comparison so you can see for yourself the difference between these 2 cameras. And by the way, it's barely anything. So let's start off with the FX3, since that tends to be everyone's fan favorites. So the FX3 is equipped with a 12 megapixel full frame sensor optimized for low light performance and video applications. And guess what? Funny enough, the ZV-E1 has the exact same sensor. It also utilizes the 12 megapixel full frame sensor similar to the FX3, focusing on content creation. The main reason why people downplay this camera is because it's marketed to video content creators, vloggers and such. It's not so much marketed to professional videographers, although it probably should be. So long story short, if you're worried about losing quality, there's no reason to. Next, let's talk about lens compatibility. The FX3 and the ZV-E1 use the exact same mount, so there's really no difference there. So any lens that you're gonna try to use on your $3,000 camera, you can put it on this camera, the Sony ZV-E1, save yourself a couple $1,000s and still produce some high quality content. Now this is an interesting one because there's been some new updates to the ZV-E1 that is really making it a contender with the FX3. Designed as a cinema camera, it offers 4K recording up to 120 frames per second with advanced video features and professional grade controls. Okay, let's move on to the ZV-E1. It provides a 4K recording up to 120 frames per second. So it has the same sensor and the same video capabilities. Now you tell me what the difference is because I'm not seeing any right now. Next up is connectivity. Now the FX3 is gonna win in this category, but it is ultimately up to you what you value in your equipment. And if you're just starting off, you may realize you don't need all these features. So the FX3 offers a full-size HDMI port and a dual card slots, supporting both CF Express Type A and SD cards. Now, the ZV-E1 includes a micro HD port and a single SD card slot. Now let's break it down real quick. Because the FX3 has 2 card slots, it allows you to always have a backup when you're on the field. That is the one pitfall that the ZV-E1 doesn't have. Although you may be running a risk not having 2 SD slots, this camera has never given me a problem with corrupt footage. A full-size HDMI port might be useful, but personally, I've never had a use of using an HDMI port. So ultimately, it's really up to you what you value in your camera. And for me, someone that focuses on high quality social media content, it's everything I'll ever need. The next category is battery life. So the Sony FX3 can approximately record up to 135 minutes on a single charge. Now the ZV-E1 can do 95 minutes. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm saving that couple $1,000s than spending it on some extra battery life. The most important category, the cost. So right now, the FX3 is priced around $3,698. And the Sony ZV-E1 is only priced at $1,898. The ZV-E1 is gonna save you just under $2,000 rather than spending it on the FX3. So to wrap things up, the FX3 is suited for professional videographers requiring robust video capabilities and extended recording times. The full-size HDMI can come in clutch for those guys that may need it on sets. But for people like me who are creating social media content, the ZV-E1 is everything myself and you guys will ever need. It offers the same video capabilities and quality as the FX3, recording at 4K 120 frames per second in the same 12 megapixel full frame sensor. That's gonna do it for this episode. Be sure to subscribe for more tips.